Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to episode 3 of our series Introduction to Biomechanics and Skeletal Muscles. This episode is all about structural organization of skeletal muscles. But if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please press the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. What you will learn in this video? Let's see the outline. You will learn about basic structure of skeletal muscles, connective tissue layers, muscle fiber anatomy, sarcomere structure, role of neuromuscular junction, and motor unit. Let's have an overview of skeletal muscle structure. Each muscle is made up of bundles of fibers known as fascicles. Each fascicle is made up of individual muscle fibers or cells. Each muscle fiber consists of many myofibrils. Each myofibril have many myofilaments, actin and myosin. Let's talk about connective tissue layers. Muscle fibers are surrounded by connective tissue layers, which play an essential role in force transmission during muscle contraction. The outermost layer is epimysium that surrounds the entire muscle. Perimysium is the second layer that surrounds each fascicle. The innermost endomysium surround each individual muscle fiber or muscle fiber sarcolemma. As you can see in this picture, the epimysium, outermost layer, perimysium covering each fascicle, and endomysium covering muscle fiber. Let's see muscle fibers. This is the skeletal muscle structure, tendon attached to bone, then cross-section overview of muscle containing fascicles, blood vessels, and fascicle is shown in this picture having many myofibrils, then myofibrils having myofilaments, connective tissue layers. This is the cross-section view of muscle fiber. We'll talk about it in detail. This is the muscle fascicles, then muscle fibers. When we cut muscle fiber, you can see the cross-section view. A single muscle cell is termed as muscle fiber. Why? Because of its thread-like shape. The membrane surrounding the muscle fiber is sometimes called sarcolemma. As you can see the black line. And the specialized cytoplasm is termed as sarcoplasm. The sarcoplasm of each fiber contains a number of nuclei and mitochondria, as well as numerous thread-like myofibrils that are aligned parallel to one another. This gives the muscle its striated appearance. As you can see, let's talk about sarcoplasmic reticulum and transverse tubule. A network of membranous channels known as sarcoplasmic reticulum is associated with each fiber externally. This is the same as cytoplasmic reticulum in the cell. And internally, the fibers are transected by tiny tunnels called transverse tubules that pass completely through the fiber and open externally. These are basically the innervations of the sarcolemma or cell membrane of muscle fiber. The sarcoplasmic reticulum and transverse tubules provide the channels for transport of electrochemical mediators or neurotransmitters for muscle activation. There is a variation in length and diameter of muscle fibers within muscles in adults. Some fibers may run the entire length of the muscle, whereas others are much shorter. Skeletal muscle fibers grow in length and diameter from birth to adulthood. Fiber diameter can also be increased by resistance training with few repetitions of large loads in adults of all ages. Let's see sarcomere structure and function. Let's have an microscopic view of myofibril. key structure involved in contractions of muscle are myofibrils. These are the contractile elements composed of repeating units called sarcomeres. Sarcomere is the area between two successive Z-line or zigzag line, as you can see in this picture. It is the fundamental contractile unit of muscle, and its structure is crucial for muscle function. Sarcomere is the fundamental contractile unit. It consists of thick myosin filament in pink color with heads at its end, and thin actin filament, a coil-like blue color seen in picture. They are made up of proteins. The sarcomere is the area between two successive Z-line. It is the basic structural unit of muscle fiber and functional too. Each sarcomere is bisected by an M-line. M-line is the midline where two myosin filaments meet. Let's talk about bands. Light band and dark band. The A band contains thick, rough myosin filament. The dark band is seen where there is an overlapping of actin and myosin. And the whole, it contains both actin and myosin filament. But in light band or I band, there is only thin actin filament. In both bands, protein filaments are held in place by attachment to Z-line, which adhere to sarcolemma. There is an area called H band in the center of the A bands, which contain only the thick myosin filament without overlapping with the actin. Projections from the myosin filaments called cross bridges that form physical linkages with the actin filament during the muscle contraction, with the number of linkages. As you can see in the red circle area, each myosin filament is surrounded by 6 thin smooth actin filament. When we cut the myofibril, then this is seen in microscope. Each myosin filament is surrounded by 6 thin actin filament. During muscle contraction, the thin actin filaments from either end of the sarcomere slide towards each other. As viewed through the microscope, the Z-line move towards the A band, which maintain their original size, while the I band narrow and the H zone disappear. Let's talk about motor unit and neuromuscular junction. Muscle fibers are organized into functional groups of different sizes composed of a single motor neuron and all fibers innervated by it. These groups are known as motor units. Let's see it simple way. Motor units are like teams within a muscle, where each team consists of single nerve cell called a motor neuron and all the muscle fibers that it controls or innervates. When the nerve signal reaches the muscle fiber, or when the nerve sends a signal, all the muscle fibers in its team contract together. Motor units come in different sizes depending on the type of movement needed. For small precise movements like moving your eyes or fingers, the motor units are small, controlling just a few muscle fibers. For big, powerful movements like jumping or running, the motor units are much larger, controlling thousands of fibers. When a nerve sends a single signal, the muscle fibers quickly contract and then relax. This is called a twitch. But in the human body, our nerves usually send a rapid series of signals, not a single signal. This makes the muscle fiber contract harder and longer, building up tension in a process called summation. As you can see in the graph, tension developed in a muscle fiber, then in response to a single stimulus, there is only one curve. With repetitive stimulation, then in point C, there is a response to high frequency stimulation. If the signals keep coming fast enough, the fibers stay fully contracted in what's called tightness. This is when the muscle is working at its peak but can eventually tire out. Let's conclude the video. We have talked about muscle structure. Think of each muscle as a bundle of fibers wrapped in protective layers. The entire muscle is covered by epimysium, while each bundle fascicle is surrounded by perimysium, and each individual muscle fiber is covered by endomysium. Then there is muscle contraction. Inside muscle fiber, sarcomere, the contractile units, contain actin and myosin filament that slide past each other to cause muscle contraction. Then signal transmission. The brain sends signal through the nerve to the muscle at the neuromuscular junction, triggering contraction.